Rollin 60s bring Ceddy Nash to the Rollin 60s. And while they brought up Ceddy Nash brought Lil Woody. I'm sure y'all familiar with it. Y'all been catching it. It's all over the timeline, right? But this is not for me to try to attack the 60s or bash the 60s or disrespect the 60s. Obviously, everybody from 60s did not participate in that move and was not in agreement with that move. But for the Rollin 60s who were in on that, this is why me myself can't give out no like excuse, right? Not saying that people are looking for me like I'm finna, DP one of them or something like that. But the reason why, because, right now everybody's saying they didn't know. It's like just, that's the whole get down. Ceddy Nash then came out, put out an apology video. He taking full responsibility. Don't blame the hood, blame me. That's his whole approach. You got other people talking about they didn't know. Cool, maybe so, maybe not. But at the end of the day, why would you jump in the pool without even knowing the temperature? Like, since when do we just like, I don't care how it go, like a random dude right now without no notoriety or no clout or no nothing to him try to show up and just hang out, be cool, have that jury on, just a nobody type of person. A person gonna want to know where they from, who they is, gonna want to know a whole lot, probably get to making a few calls and all that before a person just pull up and just hang, just a random person. Probably think they the police, gonna have all these ideas. Who is this person? Just showing up trying to hang. Like Method Man on Belly, right? But when it come to Lil Woody, all of a sudden people don't know who he is. When people is like seeing the cameras is out and everybody is recording and people is all this, the whole show is going on, everything is going on because obviously this guy is somebody. So the first thing we gotta know is once somebody becomes like, once we identify with somebody being somebody, we gotta, okay, who are they? Where they come from? What are they known for? Let me see something. I'm sure when you put Google and you type up Lil Woody or YSL, one of the first things that pop up is him on the stand, him, segregation room, him getting called these names. Snitch, rat, whatever. So for a person to just participate with something just because they seen this a lot of emotion surrounding it, that don't give it the right. Like that's not, to me, that's not a justification for these actions. This is what you get when you be okay with one wrong thing. It leads to some more wrongdoing. When you open up the pipeline for something wrong, wrong things flow through it. When you open up the pipeline for the right things, then right things flow through it. Ceddy Nash is something that should not have been accepted and fully embraced to get treated like just a outstanding member from the Rollin 60 Crips. The 60s do what they want to do. Obviously, that's their business. But when it's public, everybody can opinionate them. And when you know the gang culture, when you know the landscape, when you know the whole culture and the lifestyle, you know what kind of people is for it and what kind of people are not. Anybody with some sense, and this is no disrespect to Ceddy Nash, but I know him as an internet guy. I give him his flowers for being good at what he do as far as the internet go. But when it comes to that other thing, that lifestyle that people really die, go to jail, get stabbed, get shot, lose their loved ones for, all that type of stuff, risk their life and freedom for, we don't really do no sugarcoating with that or playing with that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody bigger than that. Like Ceddy Nash stated in his apology video, ain't nobody bigger than, he not bigger than his program. So the fact that his homies wasn't in agreement with it, he apologizing because he ain't bigger than the program. Ain't nobody bigger than the streets. Ain't nobody bigger than the real core of the gangbang, of the lifestyle. No one is. Some people might think they are, but they can never be. And the streets gonna always win. Just like the internet is undefeated, the streets is undefeated. Every blue moon, you got a couple people that seem like they might have won, but even with that, come with a heavy price. When people embrace Ceddy Nash, one of the first things why you know Ceddy Nash is not cut out for the lifestyle is because he's banging Rollin 60s from LA. If he was really that type of person, if you was cut out for that type of lifestyle, you would have already been a part of that lifestyle. You would already be from something wherever you really from, and then you would just be a person who go to LA and you be rocking with the 60s. Or you might have been from a 60 from wherever else you might be from, and then you just tap in with the LA ones. But when you in the back seat and you Los Angeles this and you LA banging and rapping and you just, come on, man. You ran across something that was like something that suited what you wanted to do publicly for your image. Just like the people who embraced you felt like you was something that can help them on trying to have some type of motion or attachment to things that got motion. And that's where the whole, y'all kind of respect is at. But it ain't no respect like y'all been having each other back in the trenches, grew up running from the cops, not telling on each other. One fight, we all fight. You don't have them relationships and all that with all them dudes. And you could have had some moments to where y'all did end up riding with each other since you've been knowing them. Anything can happen. But that's not the real core of y'all relationship and y'all friendship. Y'all core and y'all friendship and relationship and all that come from, I'm sure everybody watched you on the internet. And Ceddy Nash got things on the internet attached to him that would be like just, it's still a question mark on him. Like, is he cool? Is the things he doing on the news and all these things, is that cool? You feel me? Because another thing, if he stood and he was operating like a real true member, he would have knew better than to bring the Woody guy to the Rollin 60s. Ain't no need to apologize. You supposed to know better. And then you talking about, I just wanted to bring somebody that I treat as family. Man, Ceddy Nash could not have knew Lil Woody before he went famous for cooperating in all them interrogation rooms in the YSL Rico. So Ceddy Nash became family with this guy who broke the rules. If he was a die-hard 60 dude like he act like, he would know that behavior is not accepted. Even if he tried to make some type of choices to try to come back from it, everybody knows like you would be deemed not great, not just smooth, not okay. Maybe some people might play the gray area with Woody, but for the most part, even when you in the gray area, that means you definitely not 100% good. And these streets and these blocks and these rooms and these circles is for those who's just in good standing all around the board, not with no question mark and no gray area. So for him to not know that, because he don't know how to channel, because he said, I just want to bring somebody that I treat like family and I do business with, to come be good in LA and rock with my brothers and all that type of stuff. How is that possible? If that's the case and you got some people that want to do business and y'all gonna remove the street element totally, then you should have went and got a 5-star restaurant or a 5-star hotel somewhere, bro, or a nice Airbnb somewhere, and invited them dudes up there to do whatever they do with YSL Woody on some straight up internet content business get down. That still would have put people in a bad position. People still would have looked at people like that. But at least that would have been more individual. These individuals did what they did. Some dudes from 60s did what they did. As opposed to just trying to make it look like, he just good in the 60s and just now everybody got to kind of wear that black eye. And Ceddy Nash might still have something coming this way, a DP or something like that. Because I know a lot of people is not happy with that. And he talking about we didn't need no controversy. We got enough controversy. Bro, how are you even throwing controversy around talking about street matters? That's just like, I don't even know. That's just crazy to me. Like, you should have knew all that before you did that. You had to know that. But in this damn time, on this internet, what people do is they do mistakes, they do things wrong, they report things wrong, they do things that's not true on purpose so they can double the revenue, so they can double up the money, the views, the clicks. See, first is, oh, I'm gonna do all this and this and that. Then we gotta follow up with the apologies and all that. See, everybody that can act like they didn't know about all this bad behavior, they can say they didn't know, but look where they at with it. Everybody got some clout, got some notoriety, got their name mentioned, all this stuff, and technically didn't really mess with a person, but they did kind of mess with a person, and then it'll probably be nothing in the long run. And as long as people saying they really don't know, how can we actually prove that people knew or didn't know? So it's gonna be a gray area situation to where you can't just say people is foul or associating with foul things willingly or knowingly, right? But people gained all that clout and ran that type of play and ran that type of finesse. And if people did know, come on, man, check the temperature before you jump in the pool. A lot of these dudes is out here making their hood look bad, trying to keep up with who their hood has been before. You know, a lot of hoods have had viral moments, being kind of popular in the world prior to the internet era. And now you got dudes feeling like, you know, I come from a gang to where they had a viral moment or had a lot of motion or was well known, and they will do anything to try to keep that same image attached to themselves. And it's like, if you gonna do it, you gotta make sure you go about it the right way. You know, because these people was putting on for your hood pre-internet. That mean they was gaining all this from just really being street, doing business, doing whatever they was doing. That's how they was attaining this notoriety, this fame, or being dangerous, risking their life and freedoms, however it go. That's how they was gaining it, you know, being on videos and all these things. So y'all gotta know, if y'all want to do it, y'all gotta kind of pick up where they left off at, in the form of being popular on some street type of get down. Now, if you're going to do it on the internet, you got to be real mindful on how you do it on the internet. And even doing it on the internet, that still ain't going to be equivalent of making it lit in the form of making it lit in the streets. You can bring some type of notoriety or some type of, you know, keeping your name, the name of your gang mentioned a lot, because it's always spoken about on the internet because you on the internet or however it go. But that still don't make it like you can just relive or remimic what some of your big homies and all that stuff have done. People gotta just, you know what it is, and also know it's a time and a place for everything. So sometimes, well, you know, it's gonna be times where opportunity present themselves for people to have a moment and be viral. Then there's gonna be times to where you gotta just sit back and chill. But when you force it and you thirsty and you chasing it, things is gonna come out bad. You know, I feel like Ceddy Nash should not be that embraced like that. He is, that's wrong. And the fact that they embraced something that was wrong, that led to something else wrong getting embraced. So to me, that's what they exposed about. They exposed about just keep being okay with letting anything in. And that just goes for the individuals who's a part of that whole Ceddy Nash, YSL Woody campaign. No disrespect, just want to clear that up again. Either way it go, you know, we gonna stand tall on whatever situations it may be. But y'all let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments. Keep it a Benji for me. If not, don't jump in. I'm out.